say this to the person that's in my DM and say, Rose, you better make better moves or end up like Mayweather. First and foremost, do you actually believe Floyd Mayweather is broke? Do you? Do you? Let me make this clear right now.
Money Mayweather has money problems. He owes the IRS, he owes car dealers, he's pawning jewelry. A guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career is somehow running out of money. And now he's suing everyone, claiming he's owed.
The moment Floyd Mayweather's name began trending again, it wasn't just another headline, it felt like a signal, a trigger. And right on cue, Rick Ross stepped in, not casually, not neutrally, but with the kind of energy that makes you wonder, what does he know that others don't? Because while the internet was busy whispering that Floyd might be broke, Ross wasn't just disagreeing, he was pushing back like someone defending more than just a reputation. Then things escalated. Fast.
I just said this a few times in my DM. Do I believe Mayweather broke? No. No. Please don't listen to the rumors. Lil' bro is worth way more money than you can imagine. Any of your articles, whatever they coming with. That's Ricky. You know, I'm popping money shit, so y'all got a few questions of other people too, but I'm just saying, y'all should stop the nonsense. Big homie got, and not only that, how much paper Mayweather done made, it's how much more money he gon' get. He gon' get. He is still the face of boxing. Talk about it.
Ross didn't just dismiss the rumors, he attacked the entire idea behind them. He questioned the way people consume social media, the way silence gets mistaken for weakness, the way absence of flexing suddenly becomes evidence of collapse. And suddenly, it didn't feel like a simple rumor anymore, it felt like a narrative being built. Carefully, repeatedly, almost intentionally. But why? Because right when the defense started gaining attention, another voice cut through. Sharper, louder, familiar, 50 Cent. And this is where things stop feeling random.
Back in the ring?
I think it got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
Yeah, it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like within lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
That Instagram post wasn't just a joke, or was it? Damn champ WTF, if you need some money, just call me. On the surface, it reads like sarcasm, but underneath, it sounds like exposure, like a message disguised as humor, and the line that really hit now the feds looking for you. That wasn't just trolling, that was gasoline on a fire that was already spreading. Now the question shifts. Not is Floyd broke, but why are these two reacting so differently? One defending with confidence, the other mocking with precision, and both doing it publicly, loudly.
I know for a fact Floyd Mayweather not broke because Ricky Rose would give and put $50 million up to Floyd Mayweather, $50 million up to Gervonta Davis, aka Tank, and I would book the Hard Rock Stadium myself. If Mayweather needed that 50, we can make that happen today.
This isn't new. Their history is layered, messy, unresolved, but this moment feels different because the timing doesn't feel accidental. Ross defending harder, 50 posting sharper, and the audience? Watching every move like it's evidence in a case no one fully understands yet. And then Ross doubles down. Not quietly, not indirectly. Directly.
Just Google Floyd's name in the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic.
He owes people lots of money. The IRS just leaned on him again, Fat Joe style, lean back on him.
He addresses the criticism head on, no hesitation, no avoidance. Almost like he anticipated this exact narrative forming. And when he continues, he doesn't just defend Floyd, he challenges the entire belief system of the internet.
And 50 Cent, you're on a raft.
On the raft.
In the middle of the ocean. You look in the ocean, you see two people. You can only pull up one. All right? You look in the ocean, you see Game, and you see Mayweather. Who do you pull up, and who do you leave in the ocean?
I put Floyd up still.
I heard that.
Yeah, still. Biggie still is my bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just. He just did some crazy. He just went crazy.
He calls out the way rumors evolve into truth without proof. But here's the part that makes you pause. Why is he so certain? Because then comes something even more interesting.
Floyd, we've been friends since 2002. There was a point where I'm looking at things and I'm going, yo, we kind of got the wrong messaging point. Because we're saying we got all the money in the world, we're going to burn it, we're going to get it again. So what? When you say change it, he goes, nah, you do that, Fa. He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him.
The arena have just shown Floyd Mayweather, and they begin to boo immediately.
They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no... The people's champ, like Ali, was standing for the same things
Right.
the audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money.
I take 30 watts with me.
Ross starts talking about access, connections, power, the kind of power that doesn't disappear just because people stop seeing flashy posts online. He paints a picture of someone who, if needed, could tap into massive resources instantly, and that changes the narrative again. Because now, the idea of Floyd being broke starts to feel incomplete, almost misleading. And just when you think the defense couldn't go further, Ross adds another layer. Reputation, value, the kind that doesn't vanish overnight. And suddenly, the question becomes uncomfortable. If Floyd still has that level of influence, why are these rumors spreading so aggressively? But the tension doesn't settle, it grows. Because while Ross is building this shield around Floyd, 50 Cent is still out there, dropping posts that keep the conversation alive. And people are choosing sides, not based on facts, but based on patterns, history, instinct, and that's where it gets dangerous. Because now it's not just about money, it's about perception. Control, who shapes the story, and who benefits from it. Suddenly another headline enters the picture, quiet at first, then louder. Floyd's exhibition fight in Greece canceled. No clear explanation, no clean statement, just fragments. Speculation, and that's when everything starts connecting in ways that don't feel coincidental anymore. Because when a major event disappears without clarity, people don't just ask questions, they start filling in the blanks themselves. And the blanks? They were already full of rumors. Now the narrative isn't just about finances, it's about timing. Why now? Why during a wave of speculation about his money? Why when Rick Ross is aggressively defending him and 50 Cent is publicly mocking him? It feels less like coincidence and more like layers stacking on top of each other, each one heavier than the last. And then, like clockwork, the internet digs deeper. Old names resurface. Old relationships get dragged back into the spotlight. One name in particular, Al Haymon. That's when things take a sharper turn. Because Floyd's relationship with his longtime advisor has always been powerful, almost untouchable. But now it's being questioned again. Not with proof, not with confirmation, but with whispers, old allegations, leaked recordings that no one can fully verify but everyone is suddenly talking about. And here's where it gets dangerous. Because once a story like that starts circulating, it doesn't need to be proven, it just needs to be repeated. And who steps in right at that moment? 50 Cent. Again, not randomly, not quietly. He starts pointing toward those old tensions, those alleged behind-the-scenes disagreements about credit, about control, about who really built what. And suddenly, the past doesn't feel like the past anymore. It feels like a blueprint, a pattern. Something that might explain what's happening right now. But here's the contradiction that keeps this whole thing alive. While all of this is unfolding legal whispers, canceled fights, resurfaced recordings, Rick Ross doesn't back down. Not even slightly. He stays locked in, defending Floyd like the rumors are not just wrong, but intentionally misleading. And that creates a split in perception that's almost impossible to ignore. On one side, you have Ross painting Floyd as still powerful, still connected, still very much in control. On the other side, you have 50 Cent hinting, joking, provoking like he's seen something others haven't. And the audience? Stuck in the middle, trying to decode which version feels more real. Because history complicates everything. Floyd and 50 Cent weren't always like this. They were close. Business discussions, public appearances, real alignment, until it broke. And when it broke, it didn't fade, it turned into one of the most public, most persistent rivalries in entertainment. So now every comment, every post, every joke carries weight. It carries memory. It carries context that refuses to stay buried. And then there's another layer people can't ignore. Rick Ross and 50 Cent have their own history, another rivalry, another series of public clashes that never fully cooled off. So now this isn't just about Floyd anymore. It's a triangle. 3 histories colliding at once. 3 perspectives, each shaped by years of loyalty, betrayal, competition, and ego. And when those forces collide publicly, the result isn't clarity, it's noise. Loud, relentless, addictive noise. But beneath that noise, something else is forming. A pattern of rumors that keep expanding. Legal issues that remain unclear. Business complications that aren't fully explained. And a growing sense that every new development isn't resolving anything, it's just adding another layer to a story that refuses to settle. And that's the part that lingers. Because no matter how many defenses, jokes, or explanations get thrown into the mix, one thing doesn't change the uncertainty. The feeling that something is happening behind the scenes that isn't being fully revealed. That the truth, whatever it is being fragmented into pieces, scattered across headlines, posts, and reactions. So now the question isn't just whether Floyd Mayweather is broke. It's whether this entire storm was ever really about money in the first place, or if it's about control, narrative, and something much harder to prove but impossible to ignore once you start seeing the pattern.